Hello. Hi everyone. Good evening. Shirisha and Aditya, am I audible to you both?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, Shirisha. Thank you. Thank you, Aditya. I'm sharing my screen. I hope both, like everyone, able to see my screen. Okay. See, we have started Selenium concepts, the previous session, high level. So just as a recap, Selenium is a automation tool, right? So which is having multiple components like Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver, and Selenium Grid. So for components, because currently we are using Selenium WebDriver. So sometimes we can use some in some organizations they will use Selenium Grid for the parallel execution purpose. So the Selenium supports multiple languages, the C Sharp, Java language, PHP, Python, Ruby, and all. And also it will support multiple browsers also, like Chrome browser, Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, Safari. So it will support multiple browsers. So like example, Selenium is a very popular tool because of these features. Open source. So open source means there is no it's available for everyone, and also there is no license. It's a free of cost. Anyone can use a Selenium. So it's a web. Selenium supports web-based applications. So web applications only. It won't support desktop applications. If we want to use Selenium for desktop, we will need to use third-party tools like Sicoli, AutoIT, and all. So, but Selenium supports web applications, web-based applications to automate. So, and also it will Selenium supports multiple operating systems like Windows, Linux, Mac. So it will support multiple operating systems and multiple browsers like Chrome, IE, Safari, Firefox, and all. So it will support multiple programming languages like Java, C Sharp, and PHP, Perl, Python, Ruby, and multiple frameworks. So Selenium supports multiple frameworks means we can use Selenium in Cucumber BAD framework. We can use Selenium in hybrid frameworks. So and also we can use Selenium in any customized frameworks. So it will support multiple automation frameworks. So Selenium can be used to automate functional testing. So functional that means functional testing means for any web applications for functional testing purpose we will use the Selenium. So it is not like a, API testing and other testing. So for functional tests we will use Selenium. So when you take any web application like example Amazon application, so then we want to the manual testing team will write the manual test cases for the Amazon web application, like how to log in into Amazon web application is one test case, and verifying a valid user to log in into Amazon application is a like a negative test cases. So we can cover few positive test cases and negative test case through manual testing. The same way we will do the automation using Selenium for the same manual test cases for the Amazon web application. Just for an example, This way we are handling functional test cases, functional tests for Amazon web application. So Selenium will be integrated with the tools. We have a tools, the popular tools. Maven. Maven is a project build tool. Jenkins is a CI/CD. So Docker also used for the Docker container for the parallel execution purpose. So these are also the Selenium will be the Selenium automation tool integrated with other tools like Maven, Jenkins, and Docker, okay, for the continuous testing. And also we will use Selenium to integrate with TestNG. TestNG is a we will use the TestNG tool for execution mechanism, okay, and JUnit also. So we will have multiple annotations in TestNG and JUnit. I will explain when we are going through the topic. So at the rate of before method, at the rate of after method, at the rate of before class, at the rate of after class, like that multiple annotations will be available in TestNG and JUnit. So Selenium tool is integrated with TestNG and JUnit also for managing the test cases, execution and reports. Okay, we will use TestNG and JUnit for the purpose of managing the test cases and generating the reports. And what is Selenium? So as we all know, like Selenium is a automation tool, so which will support for automating the web applications. So Selenium, I think this topic we have covered in the previous session. It is having four components: Selenium, Suite, Selenium IDE. In Selenium Suite, if you consider Selenium as a suite, it is having four components. First is Selenium IDE, the integrated development environment, which is a record and playback model tool, which is a traditional tool. Currently, we are not using Selenium IDE. It's like before in the past 15 years back, 10 to 15 years back, in few companies, they have used Selenium IDE. No need to write the code. So this is using Selenium IDE, it will record the web application and it will play back the test cases. So currently we are not using Selenium IDE. Selenium remote control. This is a second component. This is also we are not using currently because to use Selenium remote control, we need a server. The server is mandatory to have to use the Selenium remote control. This is one of the disadvantages. So now, since many years, the popular Selenium component is Selenium WebDriver tool. So Selenium WebDriver is a very popular automation tool now because it is supporting the multiple operating systems, multiple browsers, and multiple languages. So currently we are using Selenium WebDriver. Selenium Grid means we are using Selenium Grid for the parallel execution purpose. You see here the Selenium tool suite having four components: IDE, Selenium Remote Control (RC), Selenium WebDriver, Selenium Grid. So these are all about the same everything that we have covered. Just I will share this material. Just go through it. It's not important. Just we want to understand what is Selenium IDE and Selenium RC. We will go to the Selenium WebDriver only. See, in Selenium WebDriver, it is a very robust open source framework for automating the web browsers. So primarily aimed at easing the testing and verification web applications. So that means Selenium WebDriver is using for the automating the web applications. Okay, it is open source framework. There is no license. It is freely available for everyone to use it. The important part of Selenium Suite, it is offering the programming interface with web browsers and also allowing developers and testers to automate browser actions seamlessly. So because of this futures, right? So developers or testers easily accessible using the Selenium to automate the browser actions. Selenium WebDriver. What are the features means? It is directly communicating with the browsers. Okay, and also it will support the parallel execution. That means if you have some 100 test cases, automated test cases, we can run 100 automation test cases in a three browsers or five browsers. We can use sub browser instances instead of running sequentially. If we want to run the 100 automation test cases parallelly, we will run in multiple browsers. So in that case, if we are running in five browsers, so 20 test cases will be splitted out of 100, and it is running parallelly at the same time in five browsers. So Selenium WebDriver supports parallel execution, and also it is having a rich set of APIs. Okay, because of this now we can navigating through the web pages, interacting with the web elements. So it will support all the actions, how to manage the windows, handling the alerts. So using the because of WebDriver is having a rich set of APIs, it is supporting all the user actions at, for the web applications. So these are the important features of Selenium WebDriver. Selenium Grid, as we discussed, like it is used for the parallel execution purpose, parallel test cases execution purpose, on multiple machines, and we can manage with the different browsers also, and different platforms and different operating systems. So Selenium Grid is only developed for the parallel execution purpose. So what are the features of Selenium? It is a multi-browser support, like it will support multiple browsers, Chrome, IE, Mozilla Firefox, and all. So multi-language, it will support languages like Java, C Sharp, and all. So it's easy. Selenium using Selenium WebDriver using for the purpose of easy identification and use of web elements while using the Selenium. Example, using the Selenium automation tool. Automation means we need to automate the user actions, right, on any web applications. So Selenium, using Selenium, right, we will open the applications in the web browsers, okay, and then we will automate the user actions like navigating to the particular web application like Amazon web application, and navigating to the home page of Amazon web application, and enter the username of the user and password, the password of the user, and click on the login button to log in into Amazon web application. All the user actions, right, we will automate using Selenium WebDriver. So for that, first we will need to identify the web elements, the page elements. Okay, the page elements means the title of the Amazon website is one web element, and also the username text box is one web element. Password text box is another web element, and login button is another web element. So to identify or inspect the web elements, okay, it is very easy using Selenium because we have so many locators. I will explain about the locators in few minutes. And also, so it is a easy identification and use of web elements while using the Selenium. Performance and speed are more as compared to the other tools. So when you compare it with other automation tools, the performance wise and speed wise is fast. Okay, it's when we compare with other automation tools, it's good actually. So dynamic web elements are present for easy use. So in Selenium WebDriver, we have the dynamic web elements for easy use purpose. and also it's open source platform, and we have the portability, easily accessible in any operating system, and the reusability of any codes and element is possible. That means for regression testing purpose, right? We can reuse the automation test cases. So all these features are supported by Selenium. That's why the Selenium WebDriver is popular. The same way they are mentioning here, automated web application testing, cross-browser testing, so continuous integration with the CI/CD tools. So all these features supporting by the Selenium WebDriver. So this from here it is very important for writing the Selenium automation programming. See, we have multiple locators actually. Okay, so this Firebug and Firepath and all, this is for the locator identification purpose only. Okay, that means Mozilla Firefox. See, Firebug is add it is available with the Firefox browser only. It is not available in the Chrome browser and IE browser. So this is a Firebug and Firepath we are using for the identification of web elements. Okay. So normally, mostly we will go for the Internet Explorer web browser and also web browser. Sometimes some organizations, so they may use Mozilla Firefox also. So for Firefox only, it will the Firebug and Firepath will support to identify or inspection of web elements and web applications. This Firebug is a third-party tool, okay, which is also as an add-on available for Firefox browser. So Firefox, when you are installing Firefox, right? So we can install Firebug also. So this is these are using Firebug to identify the web elements of applications. So how to use it? Right click on the web element, navigate to inspect in Firepath. When you are in Amazon, when you are logging into Amazon application, right click on any web element like a username text box or password text box, anything, and select inspect in Firepath. Okay, then you can click on the Firebug. One icon will be there, so you need to click on the icon. Then it will inspect the elements. Okay, just anyway, I will show in Eclipse IDE how we can do this action. So these are the locators we are using for identifying of the web elements in a web applications. So like a ID is a one locator, name is one locator, class name, tag name, link text, partial link text, CSS selector, XPath. These are the 8 locators available in Selenium WebDriver. See, the locator ID, it has the highest precedence when searching for web elements in a web page. Mostly when you are automating web applications, right, we will use ID only. It's easy to inspect the web elements. So that's why the highest precedence when searching for the web elements in web pages using the ID locator. Its value is always unique for the particular web element. Normally, what they are saying is ID, mostly it is a unique value in a HTML source code. So when you are opening any web application, one second, I will show so that you can understand. See example this one. So this is a one Amazon web application. So when you this is Chrome browser, right? So click on F12 on a keyboard button F12. Then you can able to see the HTML code of the this page. Okay. If you see here, this is the Amazon the home page. Here, when you click F12 button, you can able to see the HTML source code of this page. Okay. Then you have a arrow mark here, a pointer for locating purpose. So we need to locate a particular web element on a web page, right? So we need to click on this pointer. Okay. Click on this and point some title, Amazon title. Then it will highlight the link. This is one kind of a title link, right? Amazon.in. Okay. So it will when you using whenever you are using pointer to inspect that element, when you click on that element, then it will highlight the corresponding source code. So this is a link actually. That's why anchor tag is there. Tag A. That means for any links on a web page, it is the properties are available in anchor tag. So the tag A. So and then it is giving the link, the ID. If you see this ID is a unique here. There is no duplicate ID here. So that's why mostly we will go for the ID to identify the any page elements. Okay. We have other properties also, class property. Okay, all other properties also. But in a particular whenever you in the HTML source code, right? Whenever you are pointing any page element, the web element on a web page, that means web application, then mostly the locator ID is a unique value, so that it's easy to identify the particular web element when you use the ID locator. Okay, that's what they are saying. Okay, so and also in the entire web page, and hence you won't get multiple matches when you use the locate. That's what they're saying. There won't be any duplicates, so you'll have only one unique ID value. So using this value, right, as I shown, this value ID equal to nav hyphen logo hyphen spirits. So when you copy this and when you use it as a locator value to identify the Amazon title link, then it's easy to identify this element. We can call all these are elements. Search box is one element, drop down is one element. Okay, all these are elements, web elements of a Amazon homepage. Whenever there is an ID attribute in HTML code, we use this. So that's what this is a attribute. We can call properties and attributes, right? So ID is one attribute, class is one attribute. So all are the attribute values means after equal the value is there now within double quotations. That is the value of the ID attribute, value of the class attribute. All these are values which is available in double quotations. So we need to take the ID value and then we need to use for the ID locator to identify the web element. That is about the ID locator. So mostly we can go for ID. It is easy to identify the web element because it's a unique value always. So name locator. Another locator we have for identifying the web elements and web pages is name. Whenever there is a name attribute in HTML code for any web element, then we use this. So when you find name like this, there is no name here. When you find name, right, then you can go for name attribute. if you see here, I have pointed the login, the sign in text box. There, the corresponding HTML source code, it is written in the input tag. Input tag, the type is email, the maximum length is 128, ID value is app email, and also name value is email. So this is the name locator. So the name attribute, this is name attribute, the value is email. So the name, whenever there is a name attribute, here we have a name attribute, right? So we can go for using the name locator whenever there is a name attribute and value. So for this text box, email sign in text box, we can use the name attribute for the name locator to identify the sign in text box. So whenever there is a name attribute in the HTML code for any web element, then we can use this locator. So I hope everyone understood. When we have ID, we can use ID. When there is a name, we can use name. But we need to use only one locator, either ID or name. We should not use all the locators. So to identify the web elements. So whenever there is a name, you can go for name locator. So this is the purpose of name locator to identify the web elements on any web application. Class name. Whenever there is a class attribute in the HTML code, we use this. So class name means, if you see here, class attribute, and the value is this one within the double quotations, right? You have the class value. So when there is a class attribute, then you can use either class name locator to inspect, to identify the web element on this web application. So we have a class attribute, right? Then you can use class locator, class name locator. So this is the another locator to identify the web elements on any web applications in Selenium WebDriver. So tag name is there. So like that, we have multiple locators. You can use tag name, you can use link text, you can use partial link text. Okay, what is tag name? Whenever there is a web element in a, with a unique HTML tag, okay, we use this locator. If you see here the link, right, HTTP something, some tag is there. So we can use that tag name locator. So when there is any tags available, when you're for any web element, then you can go for the tag name locator. Link text. I have shown earlier anchor link, right? Amazon title. So you can use the link text locator. When there is a link with a unique HTML text associated with it, then we can use this locator. So this is a link, right? When you click on this one, it is a anchor tag. Okay. So this is having Amazon.in, the title, right? So link text means the text is Amazon.in, right? So whenever there is a link, such kind of links in the web applications with a unique HTML text associated with it, then we use this locator. Then we can use identify using the text. If you see here, the text will be there. Hello, sign in. This is the text, right? So like that, if any for any links, if we have the title like this, then we can use this link text. Okay. Partial link text. Whenever there is a link in a web page with a lengthy text associated with it. Example, if there is a lengthy text, okay, example, assume hello, sign in. You can use only hello to identify the particular web element. No need to use hello sign in. Okay. You can use only hello. That means partially we are using the text. So partial link text means whenever there is a link in a web page with a lengthy text, any link which is having a lengthy text here, then you can use the partial text to identify the elements. See example, see here, this one. If you see here, delivering to Hyderabad something. This is a lengthy text, right? So you can use only delivering partial text. So whenever there is a link with a web page with lengthy text like this, delivering to Hyderabad 500, this is the link actually. Link, see pointing, right? So the link text is very, very lengthy here. It is not a single word, multiple words. Then you can go for the partial text. Okay, partial text means either you can use delivering, you can use any other word in this text. So that is the purpose of using partial link text. Whenever there is a link in a web page with a lengthy text associated with it, we use this locator by using partial HTML text from the link. So we can take the partial text to identify the web element, this web element in a Amazon web application. So that is the purpose of partial link text locator. So CSS selector, in comparison to the expert, CSS selector is a much faster. CSS selector locator is a very faster than expert locator. So expert also one locator, CSS selector also another locator. So compared to expert, CSS selector is a little faster in locating the web elements and is much more widely used. So mostly compared to expert, if there is a CSS selector locator, then we can go for CSS selector because of this faster feature in identifying the web elements. It is more complex than the remaining locators, but it is most effective as in the absence of certain HTML tags. So mostly it is a little complex to identify the web elements, but it is very effective. Okay, in the absence of certain HTML tags, we can use this to locate. So what they are saying, right? CSS selector, we can go for CSS selector. Compared to other locators, it is a the working nature is little complex, but it is very effective. It will identify the web element accurately. Okay, that's why we can go for CSS selector to find the web element efficiently in a web application. I will show the examples so that you can understand how we are using these locators. XPath is another locator. It is a locator which is used to locate the web element using tags, attributes, text. So using XPath locator, right, we can identify the web elements using the tags or attributes and text. So we can identify either using text, using attributes, or using tags at XPath locator. We can use the XPath for HTML documents as well as XML documents. So for the location of elements, we can use for the HTML and XML documents. The XPath we can use for both HTML and XML documents. And also this XPath locator is very important because we have two types of XPath. One is absolute XPath locator and another one is relative XPath locator. So absolute and relative XPath. What are the absolute XPath? What is the relative XPath? So these are very important. This is the interview question also. The interviewer will ask you how many types of XPath are available in Selenium WebDriver. We need to say two types of XPath. But one is a absolute XPath, another one is a relative XPath. This is frequently asked question in interviews. So it is important. So this absolute XPath locates the web element from the root element, starting from the home tag, right? It is a we need to use it to identify the web element. So this XPath locates the web element from the root element to the required child node. In real-time automation scripts, we should not use absolute XPath. So normally, when you are coding your application, right? When you are automating any web application, when you are joining any job in IT job, then we should not don't go for the absolute XPath. Relative XPath is very faster. No need to use entire the path. But in absolute XPath, why they are suggesting not to use compared to relative XPath means no need to give the entire path to navigate to the specific element to identify. So in absolute XPath, we should give total path from root node till child node. In HTML, we used to call nodes, right? Like example, this one, this this is a parent, this is a child tags. So like that, right? So in HTML absolute XPath, we need to give starting from the root node till the child node at the entire path to identify a web element. This is a lengthy process and also it is not accurate. Sometimes it won't find the web element accurately. And also we need to use the entire path. That's why we can go for relative XPath instead of absolute XPath. It is a time taking. It is a little slower compared to relative XPath. For dynamic applications such as Ajax application, we cannot use. So for dynamic applications, they are suggesting no need to go for XPath because dynamic applications our values always change, keep on changing, right? So in that case, the XPath, absolute XPath won't be helpful. Okay. The relative XPath is a second type. It is a customized XPath. So relative XPath is a customized XPath which finds the element by using tags, attributes, text. So this is a efficient locator. So using the relative XPath, we can find the web elements and the web applications efficiently and with a faster compared to absolute XPath. So we can use using the tags, attributes, and text, we can find the web elements at relative XPath. These locators are static method present inside an abstract class called by. See this by, right? All these locators available in a class by. Okay. So by is a class in Selenium. By dot id something we are using. So by dot XPath, by dot name. So all these methods, right, available in a by class in Selenium WebDriver. So we will see the syntax so that you will understand. By class is having all the locators methods. Okay, all these name method, ID method, class name, all are available in by class. So we can use by dot tag that locator name. So we have a method find element. So find element method to find the web elements in a web page. It so find element method is used to find a web element on a web page. Okay, its return type is web element. So always find method return something that is a the return type is web element type because we are identifying the web elements and it is returning the web element only, right? Always the return type of find element is web element. This method finds the web elements on the basis of locators. The find element method finds the web elements on the basis of locators like ID, name, class name, text, partial link text. link text, so XPath, CSS selector, all these locators, right? So find element method will find the web elements using the locators. And if this method fails to find the web elements on the web page, then it gives no such element. This is also one of the interview question, popular interview question. So interviewers, so we frequently interviewer is asking what kind of exception throws when you are not able to identify any web element. So find element method will be used to find a web element on a web application, right? When not able to find, when any user not able to find web element, then it will throw no such element exception. Okay, that means if this method fails, the find element method fails to identify a web element, in that case it will throw no such element exception. So this method is present inside the search context interface. So normally methods are available in interfaces only, right? So this find element method is available in search context interface in Selenium WebDriver. Okay, so just remember only find element. What is the purpose of find element? Because find element is using, the purpose is to identify the web elements. So using find element, we can able to identify the web elements with the base on the basis of locators. So when you are not able to identify web element using find element method, it will throw no such element exception. So this is very important. No such element exception throws when we are not able to identify element using find element method. So there is a second method, important method, send keys. Send keys method, we use this method to enter data inside the text box. So example, in Amazon, we are entering some text, right? We are entering some text. So this is a kind of a text box. And also when you go for the sign in, this is one text box. So we need to enter the username, right? So all these in the text boxes web elements. So we can call this is a web element. This button, yellow button, continue. This is one web element. So all these are web elements on a web page, Amazon web login page. So this send keys method, we use this method to enter data inside the text box. So text box web elements, right? So this is a email text box. So in this email text box, I need to use KVR the my email ID. Okay. So like this, we are entering text, right? So this text automatically, this is manually I entered now. I using keyboard, I type this my email ID. But Selenium WebDriver, in Selenium WebDriver, using the send keys method, we will give this text. Because automation testing means no need to write manually, right? Automatically, the Selenium WebDriver need to enter some value in the text box. So for that entering text inside the text boxes, web elements in the web applications, we will use the send keys method. Okay. It takes an argument, a character sequence that is string. So this is it is we this is we are considering a string, right? So that's what they are saying. It takes an argument, a character sequence. This string that is enum, it is present inside the web element interface. So the send keys method is present in web element interface. So this find element method is I'm using, the purpose of find element method is to identify the web elements on a web applications. The purpose of send keys method is to enter the text on a text box web elements on a web applications. So these are important. And no such element exception will throw when we can't able to find whenever we are not able to find a web element using find element method on any application, then it will throw no such element exception. So Selenium WebDriver location strategies. So just like Selenium IDE, WebDriver uses the same set of locating strategies for specifying location of particular web element. So these are all text only. You can read it, not an issue. So just they are explaining like the locating web elements in WebDriver is performed with the help of find elements. So normally to locating means for identifying web elements, right? So normally in Selenium WebDriver, we will use find element method to identify single web element, find elements method to identify a list of web elements in the Selenium WebDriver. So these two methods, find element method to find a single web element, find elements method to find list of web elements and a web applications using Selenium WebDriver. See the location strategies in WebDriver. We have all these eight locators, right? See, as I mentioned, right, by is a class. So by class is having all these locators. By dot id, by dot name, by dot class name. Hello, am I audible to everyone?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Hello. Okay, actually there is a power cut in my home. At any time, I think we can lose the session. Just I am checking. I will try to use personal hotspot. 1 second. I'm not able to see the screen. That's why I'm checking with you all.
Okay, sir. We can, you are audible to us.
Okay, okay. See, I'm audible only, but I'm not able to see the screen.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
blank screen because of the power cut. I just am waiting for the power. See, I will theoretically explain meanwhile, okay? Because I without you people able to see the screen, but I am not able to see the screen. This power plug is not connected to inverter. So sorry for the inconvenience. We will wait for the power to come back. Meanwhile, I will explain theoretically about the selenium. See, as we have seen all these locators, right, are very important to locate the web elements on any web applications. So when you join in IT jobs, right, so you're supposed to work on automation projects. For in automation projects, so we will they will client will ask you, or our organization will ask you to use Java Selenium automation tool. So Java is a programming language with a combination of Selenium to automation tool. You're supposed to write the automation code. That means automation test cases. So see, normally we using Selenium, right? It is very simple to write the programming code. Why means in Selenium we use automation
Yeah, let's wait for him to join through hotspot. Yeah. Let's wait for a couple of minutes and then we can. I think he is an desktop. I think like he don't have inverter. Let's see. I'm waiting for his response.
Venkat garu,
Hmm.
do we have class tomorrow, Andy?
Yeah, ఉందండి రేపు సేమ్ టైం 8:30 to
Evening, Andy?
రేపు ఈవినింగ్ 8:30 to 9:30.
Oh, okay.
రేపు మార్నింగ్ అంటే ఈరోజు ఈవినింగ్ వాళ్ళ టైంకి వాళ్ళ సన్కి యాన్యువల్ పార్టీ ఉంది. ఇక్కడ టుమారో 2 hours. అయితే he wants to take today 2 hours and tomorrow 2 hours. And then next week 5 days, and then Saturday, Sunday. So we can finish it off. Okay? Selenium automation. Let me call him. Let's see whether he has inverter or not. Yeah, his inverter is it's not working for the desktop. Okay, there's some issue that room. What he said is he will take tomorrow morning. His time means tomorrow Saturday night 8:30 to 10:30, 8:30 to 11:30, whatever he is your band and his availability and your bandwidth. Okay. If you want, he can continue. If he is able to continue more than 2 hours. But main thing is he prepared to demo something today, how to find the locators and then Maven project, how to create the Maven project and all. And one more hour, we'll last 1 hour. Okay. Yeah, we are okay. It's fine. No issues. Continue tomorrow morning, tomorrow same time. Okay, Andy?